Hilma found the cave floor to be sticky, horrifically so. The massive spider that she butchered in the day prior had provided a fantastic amount of sinew. However, there was a lot of waste. While Maple the goose seemed somewhat happy in the mess, Hilma certainly wasn't. She had tools now that she could only dream of when she first arrived here in this new old land. But this cave still wasn't a home just yet. But there was one thing that Hilma was sure of, that given enough time, it would become that home. Kia ora, Legionnaires, Rycon here, and welcome back to Cataclysm Innawood. We are here with Hilma Baron, safe and sound in Hotel Oscar. So, our list of things to do today are varied and many. The progress that we made in the last episode has just opened so many doors for us, and as always, there is much to do. My lofty long-term goal for this episode, whether or not we'll actually be able to get some of it done, remains to be seen, but I would like to start construction atop the cave for our proper home. Now, we might not be able to live up there too much during winter, but I guess we'll see, because, we are pretty well dressed now, so I'd love to be able to do that. But as I said, there are other things to do. I want to make a nice backpack for ourselves. We're going to be going for a leather backpack to begin with, and I would also like a proper sidearm, and I think in this instance we're going to go for the Zythos. It has a high blocking ability. The base moves per attack aren't too bad. I mean, I would love to have a piercing weapon, like a rapier or something like that. That would be super cool, but unfortunately we just don't know how to make anything like that. We could try to improve our piercing skill over time, and that might allow us to think up some new weapons, but honestly, this seems like a great weapon. It's using some of the bronze that we already have, and it doesn't seem to take too long to make. We will also need a proper scabbard for that as well. So those are going to be the first things that we try to focus on. But yeah, before all of that, we have to deal with all of this, the mess that's around here. And so I think first things first, we are going to try and make a mop once again. And it looks like we are going to need 4 rags to be able to make that. So let's have a look at our rags here, and we can very quickly weave one together using our sinew. So let's just do 4 of them. It's going to take less than 5 minutes for us to be able to do it, and we'll, use that sinew. Excellent. And now heading back into here, mop. Let's make it. Using, yet again, more sinew. As I'm pretty sure the same amount of sinew goes into thread. I can't be 100% on that. It's probably worth investigating, but for now, we've got a mop, and that's what matters. So if I walk around here and just start mopping, oh, did we though? Did we? It kind of looks like we did. We just had to move off the square there. It's going to take a moment for things to refresh, but yeah, we're going to go and mop up all of these spills that are around here, and the spills are, pieces of this massive spider that are just kind of all around the show here. Wow, we got some on the walls? Amazing. We really did get this everywhere, huh? All right, yeah, we mopped up the walls. Okay, I think we got... No, there's some over here. Okay. Now we might be in the clear, and we're getting warm down here. The plant is fully grown. Fantastic. We can harvest our mushrooms now. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that and see what we are going to get out of that. So we got a fresh mushroom, and we got those spores as well. We might want to immediately do something with that, because I believe, damn, I know there was one that I thought improved our skill. And by skill, I mean, so this was a survival skill for moral mushrooms. I was hoping it was going to be the food handling, but alas, that is not the case. Even so, I think converting the mushrooms that we do have into the spores will be better, because we're effectively doubling our yield. Work on those, and I'll have a look at getting them planted right away. So we've got 14 spores at this stage. Nice. So I'm just going to draw it out like this, save it, and see if we can work those plots now. Indeed we can. Indeed we can. We churn up the earth. Now, I'm pretty sure we didn't actually get them planted, did we? We might not be able to at the moment. Could be too cold. Yep, too cold to plant anything right now. Well, we've got the spores for them, so we'll just leave them to the side for the time being. Next thing that we want to have a look into before the sun has risen is the leather backpack. So for that, we are going to need some leather patches, so we'll just need to work on slicing up one of our tanned pelts. Now we've got a lot of cured hides that we're going to need to tan as well. We'll do it when we need to. For the time being, we'll just take the hides that we've got here. That's going to give us 6 leather patches, which is going to be enough for us to make this. It's going to take a day and 5 hours for us to make it, so we'll take this nice and slow. And having a look at the different options on how we can make this here, I think we'll just make it all with sinew, because it's only a little bit extra to make that. So yeah, let's get started. Oh, and the sun's up, so we'll have some breakfast and we can turn off our lamp. Now actually, in saying that, I have set up some zones, some auto eating and drinking zones, so theoretically we should just eat and drink while we're here. We weren't doing that like right away, so the zone might not be exactly correctly set up. I'll just work a little bit longer and see. Yeah, no, we're very thirsty at this stage, so I feel like we probably should have drank something. So having a look at the zones, I've kind of just got them set up over there. We might actually need to be in the zone for it to count. So we'll just kind of expand things out for now and see if that works for us. Oh, yep, there we go. Drinking clean water, fantastic. Oh, and the sun has set, although we're not tired yet. Honestly, I want to try and get more out of the daylight, so I think we probably will just continue working on a little longer. Alright, we're weary. I think we'll call it at that, and we are actually tired at this stage. Let's call it a night. Okay, we wake up at sunrise. Nice. And I think we'll just jump straight into it with our auto eat and drink working for us. Or at least, we hope it is. And there we go. We have a leather backpack. We'll go and chuck that on right away, and then we will just go and unload our wicker backpack. Yeah, it was actually carrying a few things, so we'll just put them into our other backpack. And this one here, the wicker one, will just drop off for the time being. So I've got to say, pretty happy with that. Now, as for Ryan, we'd probably want to try and make something much, much larger, like one of the big rucksacks. Yeah, so for him, we could go for something like a duffel bag, but that isn't a priority for me right now. I think next thing I would like to have a look at is our weapon, our sidearm. And it's a decently sized sidearm at that. 3 hours and 9 minutes, let's get to work. And we've lost the last of that light. I'm fine with us working on a little longer. Get that finished today. We are tired, and we've got ourselves a nice bronze sword now. We'll obviously have to practice with that to make sure that we get better. So yeah, we might have to pick some easier targets to hit. I think tomorrow we're going to start working on the scabbard so that we have somewhere that we can quickly draw that from. But for now, we sleep. You can see at this stage we kind of really rip through the days, don't we? So first of all, having a look at the weapon here, we can see that we can store it in a scabbard, baldric. Yeah, okay. So the baldric is going to be larger than the scabbard, I believe, just having a look at this. Yeah, scabbard is definitely going to be more efficient. So we need to have some planks and we need to have some leather patches, both of which we can get. And it looks like this is going to take at least half a day to make. Right, we got planks, we got patches, we should have everything we need, and indeed we do. All right, there's that daylight. Let's go and turn this lamp off. Oh, and our tailoring practical skill has gone up to level 7. I don't know if we were there before. Let's just have a look and see. It looks like we probably were because we didn't learn anything new. Yeah, I believe we've just kind of gotten back to where we were at. Even so, we got ourselves our scabbard. And so let's just go and save that. So let's just have a look at sheathing that. Not a problem. Good stuff. So I've just noticed that we have run out of water, so we're gonna... I was going to say we could get the fire. Yeah, no, we'll get the fire going. That's going to be the most efficient way to do it, which means that we are going to have to rope up our friend again. There you are. Okay. All right. We are going to tie you to that spot there, and we're going to start a fire. Excellent. We're going to grab that canning pot of ours, and we're going to fill that up with water. And of course, just drop that pot in there and let that start to purify. You know what? I'd be intrigued to see if the fire in here will actually make it warm enough for us to plant. It very well might. We're probably going to have to give it a little bit, but our temperature here is, kind of decent. Let's have a look at that. Farm plot? No. So it might be... Oh, well, okay, I guess we might need... No, we should just need the seeds. Oh, yep, we can 100% plant them now. Huh, okay. Right, yeah, so near the fire, we are able to plant them. I like that. And you know what? That warmth is spreading. Very nice. Yeah, I'm just going to wait a little longer. Or alternatively, we could just dig some spots closer to the fireplace down here. Yeah, it doesn't look like the rest of these are going to go, so I might just reassess this. Go for something like that instead. Huh. Yep, we got a whole heap of them planted at the same time. Good to see. Yeah, so some spots we just don't seem to be able to put them down. It's just too cold in them. But yeah, I'll see if we can get lucky after the fire's been going for a while. Right, now that those are done, the next thing that I want to have a look at is potentially a home. A home for us up the top here. So if we start to try and climb up to the west, this is what I would be looking at, building something up here. So ideally it would be good to have a ladder that could go up and down there. Whether or not we're going to be able to do that, I guess we'll see. But what I'm wanting to construct is a wall out of the wattle and daub. The question I kind of have here is, can we make that work? Can we get stuff close enough? Like, I'm wondering if we can kind of drag the construction supplies, you know, to be just down there. Would they be close enough for us to be able to start making some? You know, what I think I would like to do is just start off with a really, really like basic home. So if we built from here across to here, and then down to like there and around. I know that's a little bit more than just basic, but if we kind of just go like this, it's going to be very small up here. So yeah, we know that we can't just climb back down here because it's a 2-story drop. So whenever we do go back down, we need to climb down like so. Yeah, right. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop back downstairs. I'm going to see what I can do with the supplies that are down there. Cattails aren't ready to harvest yet either. That's okay. Obviously, it'd be much, much more simple for us to just make a stone wall because that's just rocks. But the primary resource it seems to use is limestone, which we have a lot of. Limestone, pebbles, pine boughs. Okay. I feel like we should be able to make this work. Then again, looking at it, we do need to have, you know, a fair amount of sticks and or planks. Maybe the stone wall is where we want to go. We just need mortar. Now, what do we need to make mortar? Oh, we don't know how to make mortar. Oof, yeah, that might be a little bit more difficult for us to do. It does require cement and mixers and all sorts. So yeah, maybe we just try to do a basic stone wall to start with. Okay, we can carry those rocks. Can we climb up with it? We can. Oh yeah, but we get knocked to the floor. Okay. So our pulley and harness system to get stuff up there worked. Thank you, Ryan, for helping us push rocks up here. But yeah, it knocked us right on our ass. Okay, so, all right, let's have a look at this. Making a basic rock wall. Oh, we do need to have our digging tool with us as well. We just need to go grab our shovel. All right, we made it up. So let's have a look at this thing. Dry stone wall. Okay, we can make it. Let's make it up here. And it's going to be hard work for us to do this. Oh boy, it is tiring. But that is a half wall that we've been able to construct there so far. It's just straight up rock. And it's going to use a fair amount of rock, I think. But we've got a fair amount of it here as well. Let's go see if we can finish this one here. Oh, I mean, we can. We got there. It's just very late. Okay, so this is totally possible for us to do. For us to make these basic kind of stone walls up here. I am not going to want this to be a big space to begin with. Yeah, we will be working with limited space up here. But in saying that, it's the start of a home. You know what, while we're here, let's just go cycle the charcoal. We've got like nearly 7,000 at this stage. That's pretty good. Put another log in, fire it, let's head downstairs. Now, we're not tired, but we are very weary, so it's going to be worth us just probably trying to call it a night here and to go to sleep. Yeah, we'll eat our fill, and then we'll go and put our head to rest. You know what, just before we do that, we are going to make some cat food, just in case. We can't make dog food, unfortunately. We need to have wild vegetables to be able to do that. But I also want to have a look and see if we can make, yeah, we can make some bait. And that's using the chunks of mutant meat that are around. Wouldn't mind doing that and then placing down some fish traps. Let's just make, 200 of it for now. There, so maybe some of that meat will go to use. Well, we wake up, it's too bright to sleep. And I think at this stage, the next little while for Hilma is going to look very similar in terms of our days. We've got a decent stockpile of food here now, so we can focus on just making that home for us up there. If anything wild does occur during this time, of course I'm going to cut back. Otherwise, I think a nice time lapse might be in order. Yeah, you know what? Oh boy. Yeah, that hurts. It's too cold to be out here. Wow, that ended pretty quickly, huh? Let's climb back down. Oh boy, yeah, it's cold out. Who would have thunk? Winter, eh? So instead, you know what? I think we're just gonna do some tanning until the sun rises. All right, the sun's up, so let's head out. So one thing for us to contend with up here is that the temperatures are going to be colder, and boy howdy are they colder. Yeah. I don't know how much work we will get done up here without getting our feet a lot warmer than they are right now, and our hands as well, even with liners. Yeah, we're damp, and I think that's probably from just sweating. So we'll get even colder because of that. Okay, so the construction up here might be a no-go for the time being. And you know what? That's okay. We're just going to focus on tanning these hides for now. We're just going to stay nice and warm down here, aren't we? So this is a problem. We've been drinking willowbark tea for no reason. For no reason whatsoever. We have clean water. We have a lot of clean water. Yet we started drinking willowbark tea, which has made us incredibly nauseous. So much so that we are probably having something close to an overdose from the amount of painkillers that we're under at the moment. So that's bad. That's very bad. Now that might be something that some of you might have noticed when I set up my also drinking zones. It doesn't seem to take into account medicine. It's a liquid, so it's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna drink that liquid. So instead of drinking just the basic water that we have there, or the clean water that we have there, or the clean water that we have on our person, we've decided instead to, drink a whole heap of willowbark tea. So what I'm going to have to do right now is try and separate it and hope that we don't die from an overdose. Right, for now, dangerous medicines are going to be up the top. Yeah, that's not great. That's not great. I'm just going to turn those off. You know what? I feel like that's what we're going to do. They were fun while they lasted. Well, it seems like we did survive. We're sleeping through another night. Thankful that the mishap with the willowbark tea hasn't caused any long-lasting effects, or at least it seems that way so far. Well, just like that, all of our hides have been tanned. So we'll be dropping them off, along with all the others that are just beneath us. As you can see, there's a fair few of them. Hey, one good thing from all that eating is that it did actually put us into being overweight again, so we have a little bit of fat to be able to survive long term should we have food issues. You know what? I'm back up here again. As much as I like the idea of us surviving up here, even being just one level above does reduce our temperature a lot. What I want to do is just have a quick look. We're going to climb down on the other side and we're going to see if our temperature changes. We'll do it outside of where we know that things are going to be warmer. Okay, yeah, see, it's just so much warmer down here. When I say where we know it's going to be warmer, it should be a little bit warmer under shelter there. So what I'm thinking now is we do have this perfectly good area for living in up here. It wouldn't take us much to be able to put another door in this space here. Carve a path for us to be able to go downstairs to our basement whenever we want, and we could just treat this as our living area. I'm kind of on board with that. Yeah. Now, it would be luxurious to be able to put in a wooden floor, but that's a lot to do just that. 14 planks and 28 nails, and that's just for one area. What might be better is either going for gravel or a wood chip floor. Honestly, I know the stone floor is perfectly fine as it is now. And actually going off of that, maybe we do think sensibly, plus it needs a shallow pit, maybe we do just focus on getting doors built and stuff like that beforehand. I feel like that's probably the right call, Rycon. So the first thing that we're going to do is actually take this door frame down just so that we can get some of the stuff back from that. Oh, you know what? We might not be able to, but that's also okay. So what are we going to need? planks and nails primarily, at least to get a frame in place. So, first thing for us, let's get a whole heap of planks. It seems like we're able to do that pretty quick with this axe. We do have our saw as well, but the axe almost seems to be more efficient at doing that. And of course, the other thing that we're going to need are nails. We've only got 26 of them at the moment, so let's go look at making some more. Okay, 3 hours and 9 minutes for us to do it, but it's necessary, and that's going to give us 100. Done. Okay, let's have something to eat and drink, and then we'll go get making a door. Well, at least the door frame for the time being. Right, now we could actually do a makeshift door. That's one that doesn't need to have hinges, but we can make one with hinges easy as. So, we'll start to put the frame in place, and just like that, we're done. Well, we don't have any more light at this stage, but we're not quite tired, so I wouldn't mind having a look at making some hinges before we go to sleep, or at least starting the process. Chunk of steel. Notice a small problem here. So, we can get lumps of steel from, hematite and whatnot, but to disassemble it to get a chunk, we need to have fine metal sawing. And to get a chunk of steel, the only way that we can make a chunk of steel is with scrap. So, that is a bit of a problem for us. And that is limiting us from making door hinges. So we might just have to go with the basic frame for now. And what's sucky about that is that we've already put resources into building this door frame. Yeah, and the only way that we're gonna get anything back from that is just by taking it apart. We can pry with our hammer. Oh, we can also loosen our gambeson? Interesting. Huh. Oh, to be worn as outer armor. Interesting. Right, anyway, but yeah, we can't do anything with this frame, because it's not really like furniture or anything like that. So, I think we might just have to wield this hammer and destroy it. What, if anything, did we get back out of that? We did actually get some planks back out of that. Okay, so it's not all for a loss, but right, makeshift door. Let's go plop this one in for now. And so for the next part, we need to have 2 short ropes or 2 short cordage ropes. Both of those we should be able to make now. So as opposed to it taking nearly 5 hours, it's going to take 15 minutes. So half an hour in total for us to be able to make those 2 short ropes. Bam. Done. Okay, here we go. All right, let's finish this door. And just like that, we have a makeshift door. And it's probably what I should have been constructing in the first place, just because we don't need something that's, super wild. We should also clear a little bit of that mess out, shouldn't we? But this is where I would love for us to make a little bit of a bedroom. Have the bed in the corner there, have a wardrobe off towards the side. Now for us to make anything close to resembling a bed, let's see what we're going to need. So we can make a bed frame, that's not a problem. The mattress might be a little bit more of a problem. We can make a down mattress, but we need to have down feather. And I'm guessing down feather is just not something that we construct, but rather something that we just harvest from animals? Well, from what I can see from the wise folks online, it looks like there was talk of adding it in, or the capability of being able to get them from birds. We didn't get any from turkeys, we got just regular feathers. Obviously down feathers would come from geese or ducks. I don't want to test it out though. Maple, you're safe for now. So what we might have to do instead is go that makeshift direction and just go for the makeshift bed. So we need to have a blanket or a fur blanket or 2 sheets. Just need 60 rags for a blanket. So I think that's probably the route that we're going to go in. And you know what? We are very wary now, so we might not want to do this, but I'm not tired yet, so we could start it, couldn't we? So we can get about half the amount we need just from the thread alone, which isn't a bad option for us, 100%. I think we're going to start it. The rest of it we might be able to make with sinew. Actually, you know what might be better? Just doing the 2 sheets. It's only going to take 2 hours for us to do it. Yeah, we'll make the first one and then we'll go and make some more cotton sheets for the second. Much more efficient. Okay, and we are actually tired by this stage, so we'll be sleeping down here again for the time being. Let's call it a day. So we're just very quickly making some more cotton sheets. And then, so we've got 100 now. We just need to do 4 more, I think. So just do 4, and that should be the lot. Much more efficient. Just like that, second sheet, let's get that done. Okay, we've got our 2 sheets, let's pop up and see if we can make this damn bed. Ooh, raining outside. How dramatic. Our temperature is falling a little bit, so we are cold up here, but we can make this a warmer environment in general. And the reason why I'm wanting to exist up here is just because it's a little nicer than it is down underground. It's very gloomy there, and hey, look, if we do need to, we can sleep down there, but I just like the idea of us having a proper bed, you know? Nice. Look at that. We actually have a bed, and we're comfortable here as well. Now, when we jump off, yeah, we're about the same. So we can definitely make it work up here. Next up, I wouldn't mind making a dresser, somewhere for us to keep extra clothing and whatnot. Wouldn't take too much for us to actually make it. We do need to have a wooden panel, however, which we can make just out of planks. So let's grab the saw and head back up. There we go. We got ourselves a wooden panel. Just gonna drag some of these things over for now. And yeah, we can make it. We can make a lot of things. Wooden panel wasn't that difficult to put together, but a dresser, let's go see. Bam. Wow. We've got furniture. We have furniture. We're coming a long way already. Right, so the next thing for us, I wouldn't mind having a kitchen set up or something like that, but the question is how are we going to do it? Because we don't have a lot of space in here. I mean, we could always expand things out a little bit by doing some mining and then just filling in the walls with, you know, the rock walls that we've been able to build. And you know, that isn't a terrible idea. I'm not against that. So I'm going to grab our rocks from up here and just kind of look at chucking those over the edge. Let's chuck on that leather cloak for now. We're just going to drag some of these rocks around the side because we could actually get the area kind of semi-sealed off to begin with, which I feel like would be a smarter option. Like if we put in a wall here, then we can just start to mine out some of those walls. Right, let's give this a shot, eh? Dry stone wall. Get that in place. There we go. Okay, and our temperature was okay throughout most of that. We'll eat the rest of our food, have something to drink, and we'll work on the second part. Done. So, fair bit of work to get that done, but we got it. So now at this stage, I'm just going to move some of the other things away. We probably want to grab our pick and just start chipping away at the wall here. We can go and take our cloak off as well. We're more than warm enough at the moment. And I'm crossing my fingers here that we don't see any issues with doing this. We'll find out pretty quickly though, won't we? Oh, okay. Started to really struggle towards the end there, but we got it done, and we got hematite and iron ore out of that, so happy with all of those. Bring them down to our workshop. We're extremely wary though, so that's all the work for today. We'll take it easy for the rest of it. I say that, but we could very easily work on some steel, couldn't we? It's light activity. Let's give it a shot. Yeah, even at extreme wariness, we can totally do that. We aren't tired yet, but we should probably sleep after that. And for now, and for safety, we are just going to be sleeping down here for a little while longer. Look at that, we can actually do some more steel here. However, I'm going to have to take some charcoal out of this rack. There we go, that should make it happy. We'll put the rest back in there, and now that'll be enough to do it. There we are. Good, more steel. We like that. Now, we are going to have a fairly active day yet again, chipping away at the stone up top. It's hard work, but we will get that done. Okay, that was much faster. So doing it while we aren't, sore and tired and whatnot, much better. And we got some more hematite there, so that means that we are going to get some more steel from that too. Okay, onto this last bit here. We'll start digging through that rock. Okay, didn't take anywhere near as long yet again. We got some sulfur out of it. And so we've got a few extra squares for us to play with now. I don't think I want to go any further back at this stage. This is a really nice amount of space. And because there is actually a bit of dirt there, we could always look at making a stone fireplace here, which wouldn't be a bad idea. For the rest of our storage, I think we are just going to kind of place it in crates along the way here, depending on what we're actually looking at storing. Yeah, honestly, I feel like making an oven is something I would like to have a shot at. So for us to make those fire bricks, we just need to have clay and sand. And that's it. We do also need to have a kiln, but that's totally doable. I think before I get too far ahead of myself in that regard, something that will help us out a lot here is literally just having a table and chair that we can move around and that we can use for crafting. We might even be able to drag them up and down, possibly. So let's just have a look at a basic table to begin with. Coffee table would be nice, but no, what we want is just a regular table. And it's just a wooden panel. Okay, let's get creating. Done. Panel in hand. Out of nails. Out of nails already. Unfortunate. Well, luckily, we do have access to some more steel, so that means more nails. So we'll drag the hematite downstairs and get processing on that and make a whole new batch of nails. So it's a decent time sink to get these nails done, but just like that, and bam, we got ourselves another 100. With that 100, let's go and make a table. I'm just gonna put it to the side here. Let's get pushing. Okay, good, we can move it around. I was like nervous for a second then. So yeah, that is gonna make a difference when it comes to eating and also when we are crafting as well. So obviously now that that is out the way, the next thing is a chair. We can do it right away. Oh, but you know what's better than a chair? An armchair. It's comfortable and you can actually sleep on it as well. Now we made sheets before, we didn't make a blanket. Yeah, that was 60 rags. Yeah, okay, maybe a little overkill. Let's just do a chair for now. Chair, just like that chair. Oh, it actually spins to face it as well. How far we have come, eh, Hilma? Look at this. Look at this. This is brilliant. Very, very happy with all of this. All right, next up, I feel like the kind of logical step when it comes to the woodworking side of things is probably making a big crate or something like that to store a lot of our stuff. 4 wooden panels, so that's a fair amount of planks that we'd be putting into that. Is it the right thing for us to be making? Oh, we can make the stone fireplace right now. Back downstairs for a moment. I think we want to take apart our butcher's rack just for now as, well, I feel like that would probably do better outside just because of the mess that it makes whenever we use it. I think just to the south of this here is probably the perfect spot for that. Right, there we go. We can now make a whole heap of mess outside and it's pretty easy for us to just get meat smoking here should we need it to, and we can kind of store things here, keep them frozen during the winter, and then during summer we can just go and leave them down below in the cave. I wouldn't mind trying to sleep up here tonight. We don't have any of our sheets. I'm going to go grab them. But yeah, we're going to give it a shot. It's really just the grass blanket. We'll see if that will be enough for us to be able to rest through the night. I guess we could always drop our cloak there as well. Yeah, that could be nice. All right, oil lamp off for the time being. And then let's see if we can sleep. We can. And we're comfortable. Sleeping in a proper bed for the first time in a very, very long time. Hilma, that's just fantastic. You know what, let's just go put the cloak in our dresser for now. And I wouldn't mind going and grabbing some of our other clothes and just starting to slowly but surely shift things up here instead of having them down below. There we go, all in place. Get that dropping out the way for now. And you know what? Let's go light this torch here. I don't know how long the torches last for exactly, but I wouldn't mind just having one on here. We'll drop that on the ground for now. I guess that's going to be one way for us to find out. We can always make more torches as well. Yeah, it's pretty much just like a stick and some of the pine boughs that we've got. Not a bad choice for us. Now, obviously, we do have a lot of crafting things downstairs. It's going to take us a bit to move them up here, but I would like to do that. And I think we'll start with the crafting stuff before we do any of the food-related things. So obviously, the anvil has already been placed. They can be dragged, but that's going to be difficult for us to do. Instantly puts us in pain. What about the spinning wheel here? Let's have a look at that. Also, really heavy, so we're going to struggle with that. The rock forge is something that we can take apart. That might be really the only easy thing for us to take apart here. We can deconstruct the anvil, which I wonder if that would just allow us to replace it. Yeah, I think so. Doesn't work for the spinning wheel, however. Yeah, let's get the anvil and the rock forge on the move. Oh wow, that torch is already out. Okay, that's a little concerning. Did it just burn out? What happened? Torch is out of energy. Okay, all right. Now we did have that one for a while. I'll go make another fresh one and see how long that will give us. Okay, there we go. Let's drop that on the ground there. See how long that will give us this time. Right, so while we're crafting, I probably want to be in this spot here, or alternatively, we could go with that. You know what, for now, let's just go move this table, shift it over to there on the dirt for now. Could go for something like that, have an anvil over here, forge and all the rest. I kind of do want to keep things a little bit separate from the bedroom. Really, the anvil is something that we just have to have close though, so we could even put it where that torch is now. Yeah, let's just go place that there for now. That should work. Rock forge, same kind of deal. We could just do it on the other side of the door. Or we could chip out this little area here, couldn't we? Yeah, that's an option I don't mind. Give us some material at the same time. Okay, yeah, the torch doesn't last very long at all, it seems. Just shift all those rocks out of there for the time being. Yeah, unfortunate. It gives us a lot of light, but just, yeah, peters out very, very quickly. What we'll probably be able to do eventually here is just have a fireplace that's going most, if not all of the time. And that'll just keep this area warm, it'll keep it lit. That'll be good for us. And we don't have to keep our food close by. In actual fact, it might be better for us to do our cooking outside. So we can build our rock forge over here without too much trouble. There we go. Oh, we are starting to get a little bit colder here now. So you know what? Maybe a stone fireplace wouldn't go amiss. Having it just kind of like over towards the side here, that seems like a good spot for me. Or alternatively, you know what? Right where the torch is now. Nah, you know what? I feel like it'll be... Nah, you know what? I reckon we're going to go in the corner there, closer to the bed. That'll keep things nice and warm. There we go. I'm happy to use the rocks for that. And it just makes the place just feel a little bit more homey. All right, let's christen this fireplace here. Get it started. Not bad. And of course, it doesn't actually provide as much light as I had hoped. And in actual fact, it would have probably been better for it to be over here rather than in the corner. Even so, it is going to heat up the area. I'm just going to have to try and think of some other long-term lighting solutions because, like, the lamp oil, it does go down relatively quickly. Even though we can store a whole heap of it, you just can't keep it on for a long period of time, which I know it makes sense. Still, I don't know. This just feels cozy. It feels right. Geez, now that would be nice. A skylight. I think once the fire is eventually out, we'll probably rebuild the stone fireplace over here just so that we can get a little bit more out of the light from it, or even just like right next to where we're going to be working. But I do still like that we have that here. So right, next thing that we'd want to try and see if we could get up here is that spin wheel of ours. So obviously dragging this thing around ain't going to be something that we can do. Oh, actually, hang on, I take that back. We managed. We actually managed, and so we can see that it's definitely possible. It's just, it puts us into a fair amount of pain to do it. Huh, yep, there we go. Managed to get another square there. It is also incredibly tiring at the same time. We can't deconstruct it, so yeah, dragging it like this is it's the only option to get it back up the top. You know what? It seems like when we kind of catch our breath, take a moment, we can do it. Yeah, I mean, it takes a fair bit to do it, but we can. Buddy, Maple, maybe it would be better if you were out the way. You know what? Actually, Maple, can you follow me? Can you actually go upstairs if I'm leading you? Maple might be stuck down there. Really? That is unfortunate. Unless Maple actually went outside. Yeah, okay, you're back again. Weird. Lose hold of the leash. Yeah, so as soon as we go up. And then where do you take off to? Okay, then you pop back down there. So it's like you're trying to follow us, I think. You know what? We probably just need to make a pet carrier or something like that. We can't even push Maple. All right, Maple, I guess you're staying there, aren't you? We'll just tie you up to the side for now. I think it's probably easier to do this from fresh as well, rather than being extremely wary. Yeah, that's going to take a while to get that spin wheel. It's going to be a slow process, but I reckon we can do that. Because in terms of storage here, instead of just having just stuff just on the ground, I do think making a crate is probably going to be the best call. We are going to need quite a few planks to be able to do it though. We do still have quite a few of them hanging about. Oh, we're just down to 2 nails again as well. Oof. Yeah, no, we're not going to be able to store things just for a little while here. We're just going to have things kind of collated together. That's okay. That's a sacrifice that we can make. There's just lots of other smaller things to haul along upstairs. It's like every time I come back down here, I just push the wheel 1 square further. Okay, well, everything's kind of a little bit of a mess at the moment, but we have managed to shift some things up here. We're tired, so we're going to have a good long rest. All right? And look at that. The fireplace is out. That's what we like to see. Ah, well, it does look like the stone fireplace can't actually be taken apart. So I guess it's staying there for now. And you know what? It's not a bad place to have it. I feel like it makes sense. This is kind of going to be the lounge and kind of like living space. I say lounge. It's not going to be much of a lounge, but you know, you catch my drift. And I feel like having the fireplace there does make sense. I might be able to sort something else out for lighting in the future, but I guess we will see on that front. The next thing that I want to do in terms of mining here is probably take out these two here, just so that we can very easily access, down below and just have that nice flow out here. But I feel like Hilma has done more than enough in today's episode. She didn't venture out very far, but she did make herself a home. And it isn't the home on top of this place that I was hoping for, but that's okay. I think what we will do on top eventually, maybe when it's a little warmer and easier for us to do it, we'll construct a tower of sorts, just a very, very narrow, nimble thing. That will be used for the purposes of scouting. The higher we go, the further we can see, and I don't know how far we can build in this, but we could go pretty high. So that'll be my goal long term. For now, I do want to gussy this place up a little bit, make it look nice, make it function well. And so as always, if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them. I hope that you enjoy the direction that the cave has gone in. And really, at this stage of the game, there are so many different paths that we can tread and so many different directions that we can go in. I would love to know where you would like to see Hilma go next. Do we continue working on the house? Do we focus on one specific type of technology? Let your voices be heard, and we'll go in that direction. And so, I ask you all, watchers, legionnaires, if you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving a comment or a like to let me know if you enjoyed the show. For now, I have been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned.